Welcome to the North Hudson Public Works Committee virtual meeting of Tuesday, June 16, 2020 at 5:30 p.m. Item number 1, call to order. Roll call, please.
Chair Pike.
Here.
Trustee Head.
Here.
Trustee Matz.
Present.
Item number 2, approve the minutes of May 19, 2020 Public Works meeting.
I move to approve. I move to approve the minutes from May 19th, 2020.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? It all looked good to me. All right, all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. And item number 3, I guess I should say anybody disapprove, say no. Okay, item number 3, comments from the floor. Oh, we don't have a floor, so no commenting. Item number 4, Hafner Properties utility easement discussion only. Patrick.
Yeah, so there's really not a whole lot to discuss or any new news on that. I've been keeping in contact with them. We're still kind of in negotiations, so I'll keep updating you. I'll leave it on the agenda for next month, so we will continue to discuss it.
And that's the easement for the Malibu apartments that he's talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, anybody have any questions for him on that?
No.
Okay. Item number 5, Artisan North subdivision, outstanding items, discussion only. Patrick. Or is it Kevin?
I'm gonna have to give that one to Kevin.
Okay, Kevin.
I could step in, but so, obviously there's still those outstanding items. As part of the letter that was sent out from Melissa, I did receive the record drawings from the developer's engineer last night. So we have those in hand. So basically the only thing that we're down to is acquiring a lien waiver from Gary Zappa. So once we have that in hand, then we'll be able to officially accept the public improvements that'll be brought forth in front of the village board for kind of a ratification that they're accepting the public improvements down there. So then the village will actually take over the roadway.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Could you, just out of curiosity, what is that waiver you're talking about? What does it do?
It's just saying that, all the subs, like the concrete, asphalt, those folks have already, been paid in full.
Okay.
Come back after us.
Yeah, correct. Yep. So I talked to Gary. He's going to get something worked up and then forward that off to the village. But
Okay.
All the other items have been taken care of now. So.
All right. So it's moving along, you think?
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
Any questions for Kevin about the Artisan North subdivision?
No.
Oh,
All right. Item number 6, fencing at the Public Works garage, discussion only.
Yeah, so that's the I haven't gotten any more quotes yet. That's to do the fencing. I did discover the other day that I'll have to add some to that. There's some fence that I didn't see we needed to put up that would be on the northwest side of the shop there, but it is getting cleaned up and stuff. So hopefully I can get somebody else over here and get a few more bids. I'll leave that on the agenda for next month. That'll be July. We're supposed to take that over, I think, on August 17th or something. So we hopefully will still have time.
And the property, is it being cleaned up?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. And
Yep.
you think
they're still working on it?
You think? Okay, so you expect it'll be done by the 17th?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Have you had any discussions with Gary about it?
Yeah, we've talked about it. He's
So,
moving right along. So yeah.
okay. So you're basically saying that you need an updated quote, even from the one quote you've got for the
No,
northwest side?
no, but we have to have, I'm not going to just give you one quote and then let you vote on it. I will, we need to have competitive quotes. I need to have one or two more at least,
Okay.
so that you have something to compare to.
Okay. Any questions for Patrick on the fencing?
Yeah, Patrick, can you provide us with the dimensions? I don't know if you did that already, but could we get like just the dimensions, how much fencing you're wanting, and where like an area, like where would that fencing go and how much?
Okay. Yeah.
A picture, Patrick, would even be better.
Yeah.
Kevin's really good at making pictures.
I know. I was just going to ask Kevin if he could get me that aerial thing again. That I think we used it with something else.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I could just draw in the fencing. Yep, that'll work.
Yep, like the footage. Then when you get the bids and quotes, we can take a look at that and discuss it.
Yep. Okay.
Yep, makes sense. Good question. Anybody else? Bill?
No.
Okay. All right. Brings us to item 8, East Bank Sanitary Sewer Lift Station Control Panel Replacement Discussion and Possible Recommendation. Patrick.
We skipped over 7, but I don't have anything for that yet, so that's okay. I'll leave that on.
Catch basin, okay.
Yeah, the catch basin. I did have to do 2 catch basins up on Deer Path that had completely failed.
Okay, hang on a second. Let me just back it up. Item 7, catch basin repair discussion and possible recommendation. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry. I don't have another or a second quote for that, but I did have to do an emergency repair with the can't think of their name now. Rehab, Everlast Rehab. That's who we've been working with to do our flex sealing, and they also do the complete repair and restoration of them. So I had them come last week, and we fixed 2 of them up on Deer Path. So that will decrease our funds for doing more this year. But with that being said, the guys and I have we've got 1 cut, and we'll probably do a couple more. Try to do a few of them on our own too. We won't be able to flex seal them, but we'll try to repair them and replace rings and things like that. So,
How many are we budgeted for?
well, there's only $9,000 in that account each year.
How many does that cover each year?
We did we do 8 last year? I think we got done 8 or 10. I'd have to look back to see.
And how many do we got left to do?
Number. That I'll have to get you as well.
Yeah, come with that, because we're getting closer to budget time, and I'm beginning to think that it's going to take us 50 years to do these.
Oh, no.
All right. All right. Wild ballpark, Kevin or Patrick, how many do we have?
What was it? 360 or something like that, I want to say.
Yeah, it seems like that's a number. I mean, it was a significant amount.
Sorry, I forgot I had Mom's phone in here. And out of that, what percentage do you think we got left to repair out of 350? Let's just say.
Well, I would say that we have. That first year we did 60. I would say we probably got 260 left.
All right, so figure out by budget time, if you would please, how many we've got left to repair. And if we were to put that on let's just say a 5-year plan to get them all done in 5 years.
Okay.
Figure out, how much we should be budgeting in that bucket to get those done. Unless Kathy and Phil, you have a better idea. Or I'd go for 3 if I thought we could get away with it.
My question is, how often, because I don't know very much about catch basins, how often are we needing repairs done? on those? Like once you fix one, how long is it the fix good for? Is it a variable?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
The flex sealing is kind of a new thing, and I've been here 4 years now. So the first year we did them, those are all still holding up.
Okay.
I don't know. They claim more or less a lifetime guarantee on those. But I know I've checked all the ones, I check them every year to see the ones that they've done and the ones that we first did, and they're all holding up really well.
Okay.
So that's basically what we're doing is we're flex sealing them so that they stay good. But we have quite a few of them that get beat up in the wintertime. The salt really eats that cement away. So when that's running in the catch basin, that eats things away. You get a heavy rain, things aren't sealed up around them. It'll, water's going to take the easiest pass, so it will wash rock away, what have you. So those, I think I've kind of got a handle on those. Like I said, we had to fix 2 of them as an emergency, and
so you prioritize like the worst ones, the ones.
Yeah, I try to go out in the fall and see which. But last year I pretty much got all the really bad ones.
Okay.
That I thought wouldn't make it. So now I'm just kind of trying to keep ahead of the game, and that doesn't mean that something won't crop up. But
okay,
we're trying. That's all.
Thank you, Patrick. I appreciate giving me the details. Thank you.
Sure.
I like the 5 year.
5 year? Is 5 year fast enough for you, Lori?
Yes, 5 years sounds good.
Yeah, and then he'd do kind of, it sounds like what he's doing is sort of a pacer rating on these things and giving us an idea about which ones to do first, like he's got a priority. So all that's good. I just think
okay.
I'd like to get them done in 5 years here, and at the rate we're going, it's going to be 15.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, there is. And most of these are in age. What are they? Most of them. Are they close in age?
Well, it just depends on when the street was put in, I suppose.
And then I noticed some of the catch basins that were going into Artisan North look like pre-used catch basins. Are those more at risk?
The ones going into Artisan North were what?
It looked like they had been used before, just looking at them. Okay. No.
A lot of times they sit outside, so they do get, a little bit of rust to them or whatever, but they're not. Those were all brand new.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
And then you also got to understand too, when we do the Highway 35 project, that's going to be a bunch of them that are going to be brand new. Wisconsin Street, those are going to be new. So that's going to catch us up as well.
That'll be good.
Yeah.
However whatever the number of those are, that would be good.
Okay. All right. I'll try to get some more accurate
to knock
numbers
those off the list.
Yeah, take those off the list, obviously, because those will get done next year. Yeah, good idea.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Any other discussion? All right, item number 8, East Bank Sanitary Sewer Lift Station Control Panel Replacement Discussion and Possible Recommendation. Patrick.
Okay, that was we had budgeted, we can't, without saying too, we discussed this in budgeting last year to put money aside to replace the control panel at East Bank Lift Station because it's very old.
Got eaten by ants, as I recall.
Yeah, we had an infestation of ants in it. So I reached out to a few people. The only number I have for that, I think, was the one that I had gotten last year, and it was like 18 or 20,000, I think, for the new control panel or something like that. So I'll try to get some updated quotes for that. I will leave that on as well.
Patrick, where do those Autodialers dial to?
They call our phones, like the on-call phone, and
okay.
You can set them to dial to whatever phone that you want.
It's not like a service or a 24/7 service or anything like that.
Basically, it's just a kind of a robot that's calling, if something goes wrong, if there's low level, high level, pump shuts off or something, it dials out.
Okay.
Do those get QC'd at all, like quality control, to make sure that they'll do that? I don't know if there's like a
generally
or QC on it.
Yeah, generally in the spring and the fall, I'll go and run the test on them and make sure that they're calling who they're supposed to and all that. But yeah, we do try to keep track of that.
Okay.
So, are we voting on this? Is this are we moving something forward? Why not? What's the holdup?
The autodialers?
Yeah.
We haven't gotten there yet. We were still on East Bank.
All right. The control panel.
Yep.
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, I need to get 2 more bids.
Okay. All right.
So I'm leaving it on.
And you think you'll have that by next meeting?
I certainly do hope so. Yes.
Okay. Any other questions on the East Bank Sanitary Sewer Lift Station Control Panel?
No.
Nope.
All right. Item number 9, auto dialers for sanitary sewer lift stations. Discussion possible recommendation. You kind of touched on some of it, but you had more to say about those auto dialers, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. It is out on the website. I got one quote back from Synergy. They sell the. Oh shoot! I probably shouldn't have done that. Yeah, so that's kind of a budget number that we're shooting for.
So there's no actual grand total here, but okay. Okay, I got a general idea of what that cost looks like.
10 grand.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
So is this another thing you need 2 quotes on?
Yeah.
Okay, so one other thing, I thought we had a discussion once about maybe it was about upgrading these auto dialers, all of them.
Yep. That's what I've got Nathan involved. We're gonna kind of look at things. The 2 or the units that we have now are hooked to landlines, or they're connected to landlines. So these are more of a cellular service, and so then would be cheaper.
So the idea is put a cell plan for the village out there, and these things, when they need to call out, would just use that cell plan instead of having a permanent phone line hooked to them, right?
Yeah, they would, and they also, with this system, we'll get reports like run times. If there's any type of failures or anything, we'll get constant reports on them. So
these are pretty old. These are pretty old right now. These auto dialers that we're using.
Yeah, I think so. We've had them for a while.
Kevin.
Yeah, I mean, some of those stations are fairly old, so yeah.
We know how old the pumps were.
Yeah.
So are the auto dialers about the same age or a little newer?
No, they would be the same age as when the panel went in.
Wow.
So
okay.
I would assume that Cratley one is that 12 years old now, Kevin? 13?
Yeah, probably
something like that.
Yep.
So that's our newest one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Kevin, this isn't a big deal, but is there any advantage to having landline versus cellular? I'm just thinking from a and no matter what, you'd always have landline communication, but cell can be disrupted.
Correct. I mean, a lot of the lift stations that I see, they do have landline.
But you don't get the data report like Patrick was saying with the cellular. I was just trying to see. I mean, it's not a big deal, just curious.
Yeah, some of the with the cellular, depending on the coverage, in your particular case, I mean, you have a lot of cell towers around the area. Some of the
So it
other
shouldn't be an issue. Okay.
yeah, shouldn't be an issue for your community.
Okay.
Is it, Kevin, a lot of municipalities obviously have like, as far as the reporting and stuff, they have a SCADA system, right? So they really don't need all that other information from their auto dialer, correct?
Correct. So with the SCADA system, then you're putting like an antenna on your water tower,
Yeah.
and then from the lift stations it shoots out a radio signal. So then you're in theory not paying for any like landline cost or cell coverage. But to put that system in is quite a significant cost to put it in, depending on how many lift stations and stuff. You're probably 150, 200,000.
Ouch.
So yeah, it's not for everybody.
Yeah. All right.
It's the Cadillac version.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'd have to have other things that we were doing to require that kind of an expense, I think.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say about that. Hey, Phil, come closer out of that space zone. You're fading into the stars.
Just boldly going where no man has gone before.
Yes, he was. All right, any other questions on the Autodialers?
No.
Do you think you'll have a quote for next meeting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Item number 10, share update. Patrick. Oh, me. I don't have anything. Item number 11, engineers report. Kevin.
Just follow up on some of the discussion we had on Highway 35. I know there was a question on the bike lanes.
Yes.
Yeah, so I reached out to the designer, which is Ayers and Associates, and they actually came back and said that they're not putting any designated like markings on the asphalt, but obviously there'll be provisions in there because there's no parking that's allowed. So you'll still have your through traffic, which is 2 12-foot lanes, and then on each side there'll still be like a 5-foot area for the bicycles to come and go, just because you don't have parking along that section of roadway. But there won't be any pavement markings specifically, with the bike symbols or a fog line or anything like that. But there will be provisions for it. So.
I thought they were required to put in a bike lane for this project by the state.
Yeah, no, I mean, they're not planning on putting in, there's provisions there, but it won't be marked out.
When you say provisions, what do you mean?
There'll be actually space on the edge of the travel lanes to provide bicycles, to go to and from certain points. It'd be like a 5-foot area that they could use.
So
right, but I don't.
In
Go
theory,
ahead,
it's there.
In theory, it's there,
Yeah.
but why wouldn't they mark it as such?
That's what they came back and told us. I don't know. With that, when you do put those in, obviously those don't last forever. So,
Right.
Depending on how long the markings stay in place, there'll be an associated future cost with that if you do put them in, which, can
Would
add
fall
up.
on the state,
Well,
which is us, I guess, anyway. So, yeah. But I was thinking more about just a sign. I wasn't really thinking that we needed to mark on the pavement, but just a sign that indicates that this is a bike-friendly path or whatever.
Mm-hmm. I guess I haven't seen any.
Yeah, I was going to say, what's standard in communities?
I've seen some that are marked out and some that are not. It's kind of all over on bicycle accommodations. But yeah, there is going to be provisions for it.
Okay.
And I'll interject here just because I learned a lesson. if we're going to put any type of signage out there, it's going to be a process. Is if
Well,
it's
I would
on
assume-
if it's on Highway 35.
I would assume that's the state's thing to do, not ours.
Yeah.
But I guess from listening to the meetings and everything, they certainly were saying they were putting a bike lane in, and now all of a sudden they're not, which is kind of odd to me. Did I miss a meeting?
No,
Kevin.
I don't think so.
Okay.
And then just the other thing, I did confirm that they are going to include landscaping trees replacements. So, I mean, you guys are aware they're going to be removing the majority of the trees along that whole corridor, but there is provisions to install new ones back in the boulevard.
And they'll be sewer pipe friendly and all that?
Yep, we gave them, the list of trees that we would
Okay.
approve in those areas. So,
Okay. Good.
This is kind of a weird question, but I know that like we had talked about the fencing having an area with measurements. Will they provide the same for us, like 35, so we can see exactly what the widths are and where the bike lane, measurement? Like I'd like to see the measurements laid out. Is that possible?
yeah, typically, there's construction plans that go along. I mean, and they have all like the, existing typical, the finished typical, the pavement markings. I can get you a copy of that.
But if it's not a big hassle, I just would be curious to take a peek at it, and maybe even people in the village would want to see like what this project's gonna look like, and I don't know,
Sure.
might be nice to have on hand.
Okay. Yeah, I can reach out to them.
Thank you.
Kevin, I'm still a little stuck on the fact that they're not making this a clear bike lane. And the reason I'm stuck on that is because there is a group out there that wants a bike lane running from St. Joe all the way to Hudson. And one of our answers to them was, well, the state told us that they're putting in a bike lane. And now if I don't have that to fall back on, what's to keep them from trying to get tax dollars from the county, which is really our money, and trying to build a separate bike lane.
Yeah, I mean, what's the amount of right-of-way that you have out there? I mean, the only really accommodations that you can provide is something along the edge of the roadway.
Oh,
So,
Well, and maybe that's why the picture might help if this provision isn't like an invisibility, like it needs to be visible to people to see where that provision is.
okay.
right. I mean, that's what I was saying. Even just a sign, I think it would feel like we have a real bike lane that runs across North Hudson. So we don't have them come along and tell us that we are going to have to pay for a bike lane across the Malu or across the bridge down by the St. Croix eventually.
Right, because clearly there's a difference in people's minds between provision and lane. I think I hear lane, I'm visioning the markings.
Okay.
Provision is, well, the space is there.
Right. Yeah. I mean, would it be your preference that you would want to see that marked out? I mean, it could be, obviously those are going to disappear over time. It could fall onto the village to have those, put back in as, a cost.
Yeah. I'd want to weigh all of those out before I give a yes or no to that.
Sure. All right.
I need more information.
Yeah, and I want a sign. If you give me a sign, I don't care about the paint on the road. I want it to clearly say this isn't just a provision. This is a bike lane.
Sure.
And I don't know if that messes with public safety. If that creates a little more issue for them.
Yeah.
There's just some things, but I just want to know why they told us that they have to put one in. That's what they told us, that they had to do it.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying, did they say lane or provision? Because that makes a difference.
Oh, yeah, good question.
Yeah. Yeah, I can do some more checking in on and get back to you guys.
Yeah, please dig into that because I don't want, there's a very aggressive group that's all about bike lanes, and I thought we had satisfied it with the 35 project, so I hadn't gone back and looked at it, and I'm hoping I don't have to. Any other questions about the, sorry, went a little long there on that one. Anything else, Kevin?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, director's report, item 12, Patrick.
Yeah. So, first things first, I did talk, Lori had sent me the text message and pictures up at Chief Jansen. I did talk to Ron Derrick that next week, and, there was guys up there fixing, putting class 5 down and stuff. And I was told that within the next few days, they would have asphalt on that trail so that there wouldn't be
Patrick,
erosion.
Everybody watching doesn't know what you're talking about. Lori and I do because you sent us a text, but could you explain what happened?
The with the heavy rains that we had, the new development, there was just some washing up at Chief Jansen, and the silt fence didn't stop some of it, so it just kind of went on our little bike path there, and they
Into
did
the
clean
grass
up.
too. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they did. They cleaned up, what they could, and there's really no point in cleaning it all up until they get pavement on that trail.
Sure.
So that's what the plan is. That's what Ron had told me. So
thank you for inquiring about that, Patrick.
mm-hmm. Yeah. And then I guess the only stuff I have is that we have started on the line painting. That's going along pretty well. We are working on the valve exercising. That's actually going pretty good. And then we are repairing a few catch basins. I'm working on getting some of the hydrants sandblasted, and I'm using the old painting machine to paint them. I got good paint up at Sherwin-Williams and stuff. I did one up at the end of Deer Path. I got it on a little bit heavy, so I might have to redo that one, but I like the color. It was nice, bright red. So that is about it.
You're muted, Brian.
Sorry, didn't mean to hit that button. So Patrick's got a lot of extra time on his hands this summer because no Pepperfest is what I was saying.
Oh yeah.
So we should get a few more painted.
Yeah.
And for those of you that aren't yet aware, I guess probably in the July board meeting, July 2nd? Is that our board meeting this year?
I think so. Yeah.
So stay tuned for more from Mr. Zeiss, president of the Pepperfest board, and he will probably give us more of an update. Even though we will not be having the full Pepperfest, there are plans to have all kinds of activities around that exact same week. I know the Pepperfest golf tournament is being set up for August 17th, so I hope everybody, even though we won't have an official Pepperfest this year due to the COVID outbreak, hope everybody will participate as much as you can, because the Pepperfest group as a whole does a great job. So we got a community center that's coming, and I want to do everything we can to help fund that. So whatever events happen, I hope you'll all participate. Sorry, there's my chair report.
Kevin, do you have anything?
No.
I'm just messing with you.
All right, item 13, Public Works Capital and Equipment Planning discussion only. Anybody got any capital and equipment planning? When are we starting that this year? Have you talked to Melissa? Have we heard anything date-wise for budgeting?
I haven't heard anything. It's usually in August. Late August.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But I do have that little small list started, I guess. So.
Yeah, and throw the thing we were talking about earlier on there, and I'm assuming on the Autodialer discussion, you were planning on you're planning on all of them, and we're not budgeted for all of them? Is that true?
Well, I think we spoke for 2.
Okay, so
To
if we do
to
the other
two of them.
so if we do the other 2, that's a new budget item, right, for next year?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
But I
So-
don't know yet that we have to do that. I'm throwing it out there.
Okay, so Phil and Lori, our discussions were to get them all done very close at the same time, same software, to make this thing a unified system as best we can.
When I'm looking at the quote, Patrick, maybe I'm looking at the wrong thing. It says quantity 4.
Yeah, that's 4 Autodialers.
Okay,
but it does give price for each though too.
Okay, so the 10,000, yep. So the 10,000 would cover 4 of those.
Mhm.
The approximate 10,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you're saying we're only budgeted this year for about half of that, so for 2 of them.
Yep.
Okay,
Got
so
it.
all right, so a budget item for next year, since we're talking about budgets, this should go into your sheet,
Yep.
the other 2. Okay, any other discussion on capital equipment planning? Item 14, Public Works Committee future goals / agenda items, discussion only. Anybody got any future goals besides being done with COVID?
Well, no, yeah, for sure. But I had mentioned last time, Patrick, about could we maybe talk to some communities that have had a big 35 type of project, and I don't know if I'd be willing to help call if you need someone to do that, just to get some pointers about, hey, what worked, what do you wish you knew beforehand before a big project like this?
Yeah.
How can we communicate, with the public, in a way that keeps them informed and hopefully minds at ease?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, do we put up a whole new page on our website that has just that specific information? Here's
Updates, because I think I'd be wondering, what about my mail? Certain questions the public might have.
Yeah, I hear you. That's actually might be a good idea, is just to have a separate, something posting given construction updates. I don't know. But that's something we would have to talk to whoever's in charge of the website, I guess, and see if that's even a possibility.
Well, okay, so when we do this, we want to make that an editable page. It's got a link off of our main site. It's an editable page that Jessica could get with you and Kevin and, keep doing updates on it, so people can always have relevant information, a spot to go where they can get relevant information.
Sure.
Right, so they don't get caught off guard or surprised by something that impacts kind of their daily routine, their daily life. The more we can minimize, feeling like you're getting blindsided by something, the better.
Sure. Yep.
Okay, so you and Kevin, you can make that happen?
Yeah.
We will do our best.
Let us know if you run into any snags or you need our help. Like Lori said, she's willing to make some calls.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am.
Okay.
All right. Anything else?
You do know, or we should let the public know that, even with all of that stuff, Mother Nature can throw curveballs at us, that things that we have no idea are going to happen. So
right, and if it's
I want to make sure to keep saying that.
Right, and if it's a live web page, the info is at people's fingertips if they need it. When those curveballs happen, we can update it right away.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
Current relevant information, because Mother Nature may not be nice.
Mother Nature is always relevant, whether we want it to be or not.
True.
All right.
Okay, any other future goals or agenda items? If not, we're on item 15, and we are adjourned at 6:09. Thanks, guys.